In the rough seas of life, where emotions can steer the ship astray, how can we navigate the waters with peace and purpose? This is the central question of Stoicism, an ancient theory that teaches us how to master our emotions. Stoic emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." But what does it mean to have power over one's mind? How can we use Stoic wisdom to not only weather life's storms, but also sail forward with more peace and strength? Stoicism teaches us 10 important lessons about how to control our feelings so that we can live a good life and be happy. These lessons are not just philosophical thoughts. They are tried and true strategies that have helped countless people live happier lives by accepting obstacles as opportunities and seeing freedom in acceptance. Each lesson lights the way to emotional balance and inner peace. But Stoicism teaches us that having control over our emotions doesn't mean repressing them. Instead, it means understanding how they work, thinking about what to do before we act, and making brave decisions about how to react. Aurelius says that the best way to get back at someone who hurt you is to be different from them. He wants us to rise above our small problems and deal with life's challenges with grace and calmness. As we read these 10 Stoic lessons, let us start a journey of self-discovery. By following Stoic principles, we can change how we deal with our feelings and create a life that is not only peaceful and happy, but also deeply in line with our greatest virtues. Are you ready to learn more about the deep wisdom of Stoicism and learn how to control your emotions? If so, please leave a note. Lesson number 1: the importance of reflection before action. In today's fast-paced world, where people are always under pressure to answer, the Stoic lesson of thinking things through before acting shines like a light. Stoic philosopher and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life." This profound insight makes us think about how important it is to stop and think about our thoughts and intentions before we act. For example, if a business owner faces unexpected financial problems, he might not quickly cut costs or lay off employees. Instead, he might take a day to think about his long-term vision. This time to think about things starts a conversation that helps people understand and comes up with a better way to solve the problem. These examples show how reflection before action can change things. By applying this Stoic concept to our daily lives, we create a space for making decisions that are in line with our deepest values and goals. We can improve our own happiness, success, and peace by doing this, and it can also positively affect those around us. As we go through life's challenges, let us remember the power of taking a moment to think. How might our actions change if we gave ourselves the gift of reflection? Taking this Stoic lesson to heart gives us the power to live lives full of purpose, wisdom, and a deep sense of satisfaction. With all the goings-on in daily life, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of constant motion without stopping to think anything through. But it's important to think things through before moving. If you want to make smart choices, grow as a person, and be successful in the long run. In 5 main points, let's talk about why it's so important to think before acting. Purpose clarity. Thinking about what we want to do before we do it helps us be more clear about our goals and plans. We can make sure that our actions are in line with our values and goals by taking a step back and thinking about why we want to do something. Evaluation of past experiences. Thinking about the things you did in the past can help you make better choices in the future. It is possible to learn from our wins and failures and make better decisions by looking at what worked and what didn't in the past. Thinking about other options. If you move quickly without thinking about it first, you might miss other options that would be better or more appropriate. We can make smarter, more well-informed decisions when we take the time to think about the pros and cons of each choice. Risk assessment. Thinking about what might happen before we act helps us think more deeply about the risks and effects that might happen. By thinking about the pros and cons of a choice carefully, we can lower the risks and raise the chances of success, personal development, and growth. One of the most important things you can do to improve yourself is to reflect. It gives us a chance to learn more about ourselves, see where we can improve, and draw lessons from our mistakes. We can always improve ourselves by thinking about the things we do and the choices we make on a daily basis. Finally, thinking things through before acting is not a nice to have, it's a must for anyone who wants to make real progress in their personal and business lives. We can make better decisions, find more clarity and purpose, and live happier lives in the long run if we take the time to stop, think, and evaluate before acting. Lesson number 2. Take on challenges as chances to learn and grow. How often do we find ourselves at a crossroads in a challenge, wondering whether to back down or push forward? Seneca's profound insights show that difficulties strengthen the mind in the same way that work does for the body. They serve as a timeless beacon, reminding us that our trials are not insurmountable problems, but priceless chances to grow and change. Think about real life. After surviving an attempt on her life for supporting girls' education, Malala Yousafzai used her ordeal to rally support for education rights around the world. Her journey from a teenager in a small town in Pakistan to becoming the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize shows how facing challenges can push us to new heights of achievement and advocacy. What is it about humans that makes us able to use hardship to make things better? Is it our natural strength, as Seneca talks about, or is it our ability to see past our current problems to the opportunities that lie in beating them? The Stoics taught us that every problem has a solution. Every problem gives us a chance to learn patience, fortitude, and maybe most importantly, to push the limits of our potential. As we go through the ups and downs of life, we should ask ourselves if we are looking at our problems through the lens of opportunity, and if we are ready to turn our trials into proofs of our strength and ability to grow. Seneca's wisdom tells us to accept our problems as opportunities for growth, charting a path toward a more peaceful, happy, and successful life. Please share your unique perspective in the comments. Challenges are not stop signs on the path of life. They are stepping stones that help us move forward. They give us the chance to see what we can and can't do, to push ourselves and to become better and more capable people. We shouldn't be afraid of obstacles. Instead, we should see them as chances to learn and grow as people. If you change your point of view, challenges can be seen as chances to grow instead of as problems to be solved. We can see problems as chances to learn important lessons and get better at things if we change how we look at them. Making yourself more resilient, facing problems head-on, makes you more resilient. Every problem we solve makes it easier for us to get back on our feet after a setback. Taking on challenges makes us stronger, which makes it easier to deal with problems in the future. Personal growth. Problems force us out of our safe zones, where we have to change and adapt. Each task comes with its own set of problems that need to be solved creatively and with persistence. Taking on these tasks helps you grow and improve as a person. Opportunities to learn. Every problem is a chance to learn something new. Challenges help us learn new things that help us grow and develop, whether it's a skill, a lesson about ourselves, or a better understanding of the world around us. Celebrating progress. It's a good feeling to get through hard times. Every success, no matter how small, shows that things are getting better. By recognizing and celebrating our successes, we promote the idea that problems are not things to be afraid of, but rather chances to seize. In the big picture of life, challenges are the threads that hold our growth and self-discovery path together. We shouldn't try to avoid challenges. Instead, we should accept them with open arms, seeing them as priceless chances to learn, grow, and become the best versions of ourselves. We can reach our full potential and build a better, more fulfilling future if we see obstacles as chances to learn and grow. Lesson number 3. Figuring out what we can and cannot control. Some things we can change, but not all of them. Epictetus said something easy but profound to remind us of the base on which Stoic tranquility is built. This principle teaches us to guide our lives through life's rough seas by keeping our attention on the realms we can control and letting go of the ones we can't. Regarding Grace's question, think about the business owner who, despite the unstable economy caused by unplanned events, chooses to focus on improving her product and the service she offers to her customers rather than letting the changing market conditions stop her. A thing within her power. She comes up with new ideas, improves her products, and builds stronger ties with her customers. Her business doesn't just stay open, it grows, showing how powerful focused effort and the ability to change can be. Have you ever found yourself worrying about things that you can't change? How much time and effort do we spend thinking about what other people think? The weather or the business that doesn't care about our problems? Stoic wisdom tells us to put that energy into improving ourselves by taking actions and having attitudes that we choose. Imagine using this Stoic lesson in our daily lives to figure out where our contribution really makes a difference in our own growth. How kind we are to others, how much we love what we do, and letting go of stress over things we can't change. This change not only saves our mental and emotional energy, but also gives us the power to make real, positive changes in our lives and the lives of those around us. As you move forward, ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? What lies beyond my power? By adopting this Stoic practice, we open ourselves to a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment, free from the chaos of the outside world, and based on the knowledge that we are making the most of what is truly ours. Figuring out what we can and cannot change is important for dealing with life's problems in a strong and useful way. We need to be able to tell the difference between the parts of our lives we can change and the parts we can't. This important lesson can be summed up in 5 points. Figure out the things that can be changed. The first step is to figure out what we can change or affect about a situation. This covers what we do, how we feel, and how we react to things. By focusing on these things, we can change. We can have a good effect on how things turn out. Accepting what you can't change. The other important thing is to recognize the parts of life we can't change. This could include things that happen in the outside world, how other people act, or nature events. Acceptance doesn't mean being passive. It means realizing that some things can't be changed and learning to stop trying to do so. Mindfulness practices. Deep breathing and meditation are examples of mindfulness practices that can help us become more aware of our thoughts and feelings. By watching how we respond to different situations, we can figure out what makes us anxious or stressed. Being aware of ourselves is important for figuring out what we can control and what we need to let go of. Not controlling, but focusing on influence. Focus on influencing, instead of trying to be in charge of everything. We might not be able to change what happens, but we can affect it by what we do and the choices we make. By focusing on what we can change, we give ourselves the power to make good decisions and be flexible in response to situations, building resilience. To build resilience, we need to know the difference between what we can control and what we can't. Being resilient means knowing that we can get back on our feet after problems and setbacks, knowing that we can change and get stronger. By getting stronger, we gain a sense of control, even when things are unclear. In the end, it takes a lifetime to learn how to figure out what we can and cannot control. By getting better at this skill, we can find more peace, strength, and efficiency in dealing with the ups and downs of life. Lesson number 4: how important it is to keep going. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that perseverance is more than just sticking with something. It's also the art of turning problems into pathways. What was blocking your action becomes the path. This Stoic idea comes across. It has a parallel in the life of J.K. Rowling, whose manuscript for Harry Potter was turned down by 12 publishers before it was finally accepted. Her story shows the power of persistence as she kept writing, believing in the worth of her work and not letting setbacks control her future. When we fail, how many of us choose to keep going instead of giving up? It's when the path ahead seems impossible that the true value of perseverance is shown. It's not about stubbornly pushing against the same door. It's about looking for new doors, new methods, and new perspectives. People have always been able to succeed despite facing many setbacks. For example, Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb, and Michael Jordan was kicked off his high school basketball team, but went on to become one of the best players in history, not because they are great at what they do, but because they represent the Stoic ideal of persistence, seeing each loss as a chance to get better. This lesson of perseverance is more than just a story from history. It's a call to action. Every problem we face is a chance to learn, to come up with new ideas, and to move forward. The question is whether you will let problems stop you or use them to help you find your way. It is important to keep going, even when things get hard. Remember that what you think is going to stop you will become the way you use it. Of course, here is a lesson in 5 points, along with an explanation about why it's important to keep going. Introduction. Problems will always be a part of life. It seems like everyone is out to get us sometimes, testing our strength and willpower. When things like this happen, the most important thing we can have is the resolve to keep going. Not only should we keep going, but we should also know that each step, no matter how small, brings us closer to our goals. Having persistence is what gets us through the hardest times and gives us the strength to come out on top. What we learned: being resilient means facing problems head-on and sticking with things even when they get hard. Every setback we face makes us stronger and gets us ready for the next task. Failure is the path to success. A lot of big successes come after a lot of mistakes. Every failure is a chance to learn, change, and get better. Failure must be seen as a stepping stone, not a roadblock, if you want to make progress. Vision gives us meaning. Having a clear picture of our goals gives our journey meaning and direction. When we face problems, this goal helps us remember why we started and gives us the strength to keep going no matter what. Little steps can lead to big wins. Making progress doesn't always mean taking huge steps forward. Often it's the small steps taken every day that add up to big changes over time. Small wins along the way are important to celebrate because they show progress and keep mood high. Others are inspired by perseverance. Our path to our goals isn't just a personal victory, it's also a source of motivation for other people who are going through similar problems. By sticking with our problems, we become examples of hope and strength that inspire others to do the same, no matter what. Finally, it's impossible to say enough about how important it is to keep going. It's the key to success, the cure for depression, and the thing that makes you grow as a person. People who are determined to keep going through life's problems can reach their full potential and make the future better for themselves and those around them. Lesson number 5. Acceptance is the key to freedom. In the tapestry of life, each thread stands for an event, shaped by happiness, sadness, success, and hardship. From the ups and downs he went through in life, Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius learned a very important lesson. Accept whatever comes your way as part of your fate and use it to your best advantage. This deep question pushes us to accept the story of life as it unfolds, not being strong in fight, but in acceptance. Imagine a woman who is full of life and dreams, who is one day told she has a serious illness. At first, she is filled with fear and denial, but her journey takes a big turn toward acceptance. This is the start of her true freedom. But how does one find freedom in accepting what seems wrong? Through acceptance, this woman finds new ways to help her community, maybe by giving advice to others going through the same thing, which changes her struggle. But being thankful for the times of happiness and connection shows how to be strong and turn problems into opportunities. What parts of your life need to be accepted? Are you putting off a situation, a relationship, or a part of yourself because you're afraid or want to be in charge? Marcus Aurelius says that we can't be at peace with everything around us. Instead, he says, we need to let go of what we can't change and focus on what we can. Think about the message that you can find freedom in acceptance. Let us be inspired by those who have bravely walked this path. By accepting our situations with grace and strength, we not only honor our journey, but we also open ourselves to the deep peace and power that acceptance brings. Let this be a call to action, to accept, adapt, and find joy in the story of our lives as it unfolds, leaving a legacy of strength, compassion, and wisdom. Now let's talk about the last 5 lessons on how to control your feelings while improving yourself. Lesson number 6. The practice of Stoic journaling. Stoic journaling, as shown by the lives of Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, is more than just writing down what happens in your day. It's a deep way to think about yourself and grow in knowledge. Marcus Aurelius's meditations are a timeless example of how writing in a journal can help us see our deepest fears, hopes, and thoughts. He said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." But how do we sort through and improve the quality of our thoughts to ensure a life of happiness, peace, and success? Think about the journey of a modern CEO who, despite all the business decisions and leadership challenges that come with the job, makes time every day to write in a Stoic journal. This isn't just a ritual, it's a strategic retreat into the self, where the day's actions, emotions, and interactions are looked at through the lens of Stoic wisdom. Failures become lessons in resilience, and successes become examples of virtue and hard work. This practice of reflection helps the CEO deal with the challenges of leadership by setting a good example and encouraging a culture of deep reflection and constant growth within the company. Now, imagine adding Stoic journaling to your life. How might taking the time to think about your daily experiences in light of Stoic principles change your life? Change the way you deal with problems and chances. What insights and growth might you gain from regularly looking at your actions and responses through the Stoic lens? Stoic journaling asks us to stop, think, and make sure that our lives are in line with our deepest values and virtues. It asks us to face our lives honestly and bravely, making sure that our path is one of purpose, wisdom, and inner peace. Let us embrace this practice and learn from both ancient Stoics and modern leaders to live a life of happiness, resilience, and thoughtful leadership. Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy that says the best way to calm your mind is to build self-control, bravery, and virtue. Stoic writing is a modern practice that is based on Stoic ideas and aims to help people become more self-aware, strong, and grow as people. Stoic teachings lead regular reflection and introspection in order to better understand one's own thoughts, feelings, and actions. Practitioners can get more clarity, perspective, and wisdom in dealing with life's difficulties by writing down their experiences, insights, and reflections in a journal. What you need to know about Stoic journaling. Set aside time every day to write in a journal, best in the morning or evening. Think about your actions, responses to events, and the way you think about them through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Gratitude practice. Write down at least 3 things you're thankful for at the start of each writing entry. Practicing thanks helps you think positively and take your mind off of things that are bad or unhappy. Looking at actions and impulses. Pay attention to how you react to things without thinking about it. When you are faced with trouble or temptation, take a moment to think about how you responded at first. Think about how they fit with Stoic qualities like self-discipline, wisdom, and courage. Accepting what we can't change. Stoicism teaches us how important it is to know the difference between what we can change and what we can't. Writing in a journal can help you remember this concept by making you think about things you can't change and encouraging you to accept them instead of fighting them. Setting goals for improvement. Based on Stoic ideas, use your writing to set goals for your own growth and development. Figure out how you can show values like strength, kindness, and honesty, and make a promise to yourself to work hard towards these goals. When you write in a Stoic book every day, you can learn more about yourself, become stronger when bad things happen, and live your life with more purpose and wisdom. Lesson number 7. The power of questions that make you think. The skill of asking yourself deep questions. A practice with deep roots in Stoic philosophy can turn our daily lives from a series of reactive events into a thoughtful, planned journey. The questions, is this within my control, and what virtue can I practice in this moment, are not just questions. They lead to a deeper understanding of our actions, emotions, and how they relate to our core values. The Epic of Epictetus is a guiding light in Stoicism. We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens to us. This principle is made very clear by the story of a school teacher who, in the middle of a busy classroom, stops to think about what she can change and decides to respond with patience and understanding. Being able to handle the dynamics of the classroom with fairness and purpose not only improves her teaching, but also her life. Effectiveness. It makes her students want to think about problems in the same way, which leads to more thoughtful thinking. Imagine what would happen if we asked ourselves these kinds of questions about our own lives. For example, when we have a stressful work deadline, instead of freaking out, we might ask ourselves, what can I control in this situation? Or when I'm in a fight with someone, how can I respond with kindness and understanding? These kinds of questions keep us from acting on impulse and lead us to actions that are based on the Stoic virtues of wisdom and understanding. Courage. By using the power of reflective questions in our daily lives, we can build a life with meaning and purpose. With patience and calmness, we can learn to deal with the problems that come up in life, not with resistance, but with a thoughtful, good reaction that makes our lives and the lives of those around us better. How would your life be different if you started every day by asking yourself what good things you could do and what things you really could control. Lesson number 8. Embracing change. Stoic philosophy is based on accepting change as a way to understand and adapt to the constantly changing state of life. The ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, "Change is the only constant." The lives of people who have been through big changes and found the seeds of growth and renewal in them echo with this knowledge. Think about a family that moves to a new country and has to deal with new languages, customs, and communities. Instead of being afraid of the unknown, they embrace the change with openness and curiosity, and in doing so they find new opportunities for professional growth, as well as deeper connections within their family and a deeper, more compassionate understanding of cultures around the world. How can we use this lesson in our own lives? Are we afraid to take a chance on a new job, relationship, or way of life because the change seems too scary? Marcus Aurelius tells us to accept the things that fate has tied you to and love the people that fate brings you together with, but do it with all your heart. Adopting change doesn't mean giving up on life. It means actively participating in it and realizing that we often grow on the other side of comfort. The message to carry forward is one of strength and openness. By seeing change not as a barrier, but as a bridge to new horizons, we can handle life's changes with grace and courage. We just finished an important journey today with 8 lessons on how to control your feelings. Stoicism's ancient wisdom helps us find our way through the rough waters of our emotions. It does this by teaching us lessons like accepting challenges, knowing what we can control, and finding peace in the midst of problems. These lessons give us the tools to build a strong and balanced inner life. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let us use these ideas to learn how to control our emotions, not by ignoring them, but by understanding them and using them to live a good life. By incorporating these Stoic lessons into our daily lives through gratitude, reflection, and mindful presence, we can not only find peace within ourselves, but also help make the world a more compassionate and understanding place. Take these lessons to heart and start your journey toward a peaceful, happy, and deeply satisfying life. If today's meaningful journey with the Stoic philosophy moved you, please click the like button. Leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to tell everyone you know about these deep ideas. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos we post. We'll see you in the next video.